Taiwan. I'm Ethan Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. China has opened new flight routes that pass near an unofficial boundary next to two of Taiwan's offshore islands. Tiffany Wong reports.
Chinese flight paths will soon be moving closer to Taiwan than ever before. New flight paths from two coastal cities in China connect along the M503 route, close to what's known as the Median Line. It's an unofficial boundary that separates China and Taiwan in the strait between them. Taiwanese officials say the proposed flight paths could pose a threat for flights in the airspace of Taiwan's offshore islands like Jinmen and Mazu.
没有把旅客的安全、飞行的安全当一回事的话，这个对于我们政府来讲，我们没有办法接受。
Some officials say that the new Chinese flight paths could also be used as a way to test Taiwan's boundaries. China does not recognize the median line, and it frequently flies warplanes over it. Security analysts say adjusting civilian flight paths could be another strategy to pressure Taiwan.
凸显出中国持续的利用这种经济胁迫的手段，想要进行对台湾的统战，但是非常不负责任，那么都会冲击到我国的国内线，很可能就会造成空中接近的风险。
With Taiwan set to inaugurate a new president who sees Beijing as less than friendly next month, the country is likely to face growing pressure from China, including incursions in the air. Ryan Wu and Tiffany Wong for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's foreign ministry says reports of confidential documents for sale on the dark web is a case of cognitive warfare. The sale of the documents was first reported by local media. According to reports, the seller says the documents contain first-hand information. The ministry says the seller of the documents is suspicious. It says this could be a case of forgery and tampering by overseas agents and has asked the public not to fall for the spread of false information. And the investigation is ongoing. U.S. House Republicans unveiled a military aid bill earlier this week that would set aside over $1 billion for Taiwan and countering China in the Indo-Pacific. The package is one of 3 foreign aid bills set for a House vote as early as Saturday. Our reporter Maddie Ann Strother spoke to political scientist Chen Fangyu to find out what it could mean for Taiwan.
So what do we know about how the US plans to spend this money if the bill passes?
We have seen the passage of the series of acts included in the NDAA. So that basically encourage more U.S. and Taiwan military cooperation. For example, we've seen a project enhancing the cybersecurity and also the security of the basic infrastructure. So this time we see this kind of the foreign military financing. It is to speed up arms sales. So basically, it will help Taiwan to get more arms sales in it, and also to replenish some of the U.S. Stockpiles in the allies. So I think this is an overall cooperation project from this act.
And why exactly are these aid packages just so important to Taiwan?
So I think it signals that the U.S. now values the Taiwan as an ally, and also it values the so-called stability of the Taiwan Strait. And for Taiwan, I think it's a signal of the U.S.-Taiwan relationship. Also, it signifies the significance of the military reforms. So Taiwan in recent years, we've seen that several major military reforms, including to normalize the arms sales with the U.S. and also we reform the reserve system, and we have a lot of open public cooperation project with the U.S. So it's just signified that these reforms and this cooperation will go on.
We've seen a lot of Republican opposition to sending more aid to Ukraine, and Taiwan, like Ukraine, also relies on US military hardware to counter its own threat of China. Do you think this is something that Taiwan should be concerned about?
Well, it's not a concern, but it's a general phenomenon that because it takes a lot of money, it's a big budget for the U.S. So it's this by nature that the congressman will concern about how the money will be spent and being used. Also, we've seen that in the hearing last month, the House of Representatives, Mr. Matt Gaetz, also questioned that whether Taiwan's military has been infiltrated by the spies from China. That is, some of the Congress persons starting to question whether we can handle these internal problems, and also whether people have the determinants of self-defense. So Taiwan has to show that we do have the capability, also the willingness to fight, in order to win over the support of the U.S. Congress persons.
That was political scientist Chen Fangyu speaking to our reporter Maddie Anstruther. One person is dead and 7 are injured after a gas explosion in the residential block in Kaohsiung. The blast led to fires quickly spreading across 3 neighboring households. Firefighters put out the blaze within an hour. One 75-year-old resident was found dead and 7 others were sent to the hospital, including a man officials say may have triggered the explosion. And the investigation is ongoing. A student group in Taiwan is protesting gender inequality in education on the 20th anniversary of a law meant to end discrimination in schools. The group hopes Taiwan's Gender Equity Education Act will achieve its initial aims of making sure all students are respected. They're calling on lawmakers to address online hostility toward people who don't identify as men and the lack of legal definition of sexual violence in schools. They also want gender education in schools and more gender-neutral facilities. President Taiwan has awarded TSMC founder Morris Chang the Order of Dr. Sun Yat-sen, the 2nd highest civilian medal in Taiwan. Tsai says the chip giant's innovative business model has not only led Taiwan's semiconductor industry to the global stage, but also proves the country's resilience and determination to take on key international roles. Zhang says he shares the honor with everyone at TSMC who helped build a globally recognized tech company. The Order of Sun Yat-sen recognizes people who have made outstanding contributions to the country. Climate change is impacting weather patterns around Taiwan, and nobody's feeling the heat more than farmers whose crop yields are suffering. Reese Ayers has more details.
Bone dry down to the roots. These bamboo shoots aren't getting the moisture they need to grow. On the outskirts of Tainan in southern Taiwan, farmers are feeling the pinch as long spells of heat and drought starve their crops of the water they need to thrive.
我们是有在灌溉，灌溉的就还好，有的是没有灌溉，没有下雨的话，它就不会湿润，不会湿润，它就不会长笋子。
Extreme weather conditions, such as the record-breaking heat wave that hit Taiwan's south in late March, are becoming more common due to global warming, and it's impacting crop yields across the country.
没有雨水，所以今年笋子没啥笋子。以往到货量大概都2-3千嘛，这个时候大概2000多、3000左右。那现在目前到货量还不到1000呢。
The agriculture industry is among the first to feel the impact of climate change, as year-on-year crop yields suffer, resulting in less and poorer quality produce. And it's not just bamboo shoots feeling the burn.
去年梅子就长不大，跟花生米一样大而已。今年是那个果粒是比去年还大了。 但是很少，整体来讲，每龄大概是2至3成左右了哈。
And smaller yields mean higher prices for consumers, who could be digging deep to put food on the table this summer, as heat records continue to be broken the world over, and more extreme weather becomes the norm. Klein Wang and Reese Ayers for TaiwanPlus.
The government is helping reimburse farmers who face losses at the hands of Formosan black bears. A farmer in Taidong became the first to receive the subsidy after 9 of his chickens were eaten by a black bear. It comes as the endangered species is increasingly coming into contact with people. Farmers can also get money for reporting and monitoring the bears. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website and follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, check out these vintage Alfa Romeo cars up for auction in France. I'm Ethan Liu. Take care, and I'll see you next time.